lot of things the city has control over with zoning, with municipal ordinances. So before I got into real estate, I used to work for the city in the building department, in the trenches, doing code compliance, Miami Gardens, Weston, places that are privatized, places that you don't want to go to because they cause migraines, and people don't want to deal with these things. So I deal with open permits, expired permits, liens, code violations, construction, permitting things after the fact. So I'm here to make things right. I'm here to evaluate things so you guys can know if it's a good deal or not. And again, some of these things, some of these code violations, they're not fixable. What do I mean by not fixable? You can have an expired permit from the city of Pompano Beach where it's an expired air condition permit, but Service America or Total Appliance left it open simply because there's an addition behind the house and there's an electric panel outside and there's an open roof area, so you have all this illegal stuff you shouldn't have there. So I'm going to go to the presentation real quick, but so these are examples where I tell the wholesaler, the buyer, the person who's looking to flip, I say, hey guys, let's leave that open or expired permit. Point being, we just really want to make sure that we don't call the city or the county on the property where there's going to be an issue. Every city is different, every building official is different, every policy is different. Sometimes they'll close a roof in Tamarack with an engineer's letter and it missed the last inspection, and then 6 months later the building official changes and it won't. So I deal with all those things. I just want to raise a hands in the room. How many people have bid or have looked to purchase properties with permits or code violations or distressed? I know, David, have you?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, so we just have to evaluate these guys. Everything has a number. You can get financing with open permits. Open permits are permits that didn't get closed out, or code violations. As long as there's not a lien attached to it, it's not a title issue. So open permits are, again, okay. But before David gets this going, part of the really important process that I deal with, people call me all day, hey Ben, are there open expired permits on this property? I went on the city's website, but the problem is there's multi-jurisdictions. So for example, you'll have, say Weston for example, before 96 it was Broward County, so you have 5 backups of data. So it's really important to pull a lien search. This is a company that I work with, Reliable Lien Search. You could go on the city's website and see 5-6 years of what's going on, but it's very important, and especially when you have when you have time to make the investment and evaluate it. Municipal searches cost between $200 or $300, and typically people don't pull them, or title does not pull them until they get a contract on the property and pass the inspection period. Most of the time I'm called by real estate agents. Thanks, David. Title companies, I'm called by mortgage professionals, all different types of people to resolve these things at the last hour because someone messed up or someone sat on information or there's a sticky situation. So this is the name of my company. I'm an owner's rep, so I'm a GC. I handle permitting, code violations, anything having to do with the city and a property. Oh, there we go. Wait, how did this come out here? What did he do? I don't know if anyone, okay. Here, we'll go to this one. This is okay. So, this is from the city of North Miami. Whoa. I wasn't a good video game player. This is from the city of North Miami. And basically, the city of North Miami has what's called a reoccupancy certificate. So if you're ever looking to buy a property in North Miami, make sure it's a really good deal. In Dade County, these cities have started doing inspections prior to the transfer of title. So in order to get a closing in Miami, in North Miami, Biscayne Park, El Portal, Opelika, Miami Gardens, all these cities, you need reoccupancy certificates. That's where the city comes into the property, they check the bed and bath count, and they check for open and expired permits. Typically, we were finding that they were looking for multifamilies with 4 units, or the zoning was wrong, where it was a single family with an efficiency on the back, but we found they're looking for water heaters, air conditioners, and Gary Biswick is the most hated person in the city because he blows up people's deals in North Miami. Whether it's someone flipping, whether it's someone who lived in a house for 40 years and is now selling. So these are things where people were selling properties and the city created a process. In Broward County, we have Deerfield Beach, Pompano, a lot of municipalities, they're using Zillow. They're using Trulia. When I told David about this, he was like, wow, we were in Sea Haven, it's a huge condominium, and how does the city of Pompano know that there are 10 units renovated without permits? Well, when the realtors put it up on the MLS, and those pictures are syndicated on the website, these code officers are sitting like party crashers in front of a computer looking for what's going on. So just keep those things in mind. They're issuing warnings again, and they are problems. And it usually the owner gets the warning once the property's under contract because the market's so hot. So we want to be aware of making issues a bigger deal. We want to be aware of attempting, a lot of people, whether you're a wholesaler, a professional realtor, or whatever you do, or property owner, a lot of people think they could call the city and the property and clear the violation. Well, a lot of times you're calling the city into the property and they're finding more problems. So we want to be cognizant of that. What else do I have here that's interesting? Airbnb. Airbnb, a lot of the cities are cracking down on this. Airbnbs are cash cows. But most municipalities out east, they're requiring a business license to operate an Airbnb. So they say, now that you're going to use your single family property as a hotel, we're going to hold you to the same building code as Marriott and everyone else we're standing in. So this inspection or license triggers a code compliance officer coming into the property to look for unpermitted work, ADA compliance issues, accessibility, that's federal laws. So this can, they're looking for permitted improvements, that the zoning allows for it in the city. So these are all very important things to look for. A lot of times we are investors, or we help our clients facilitate these processes. So again, knowing what city you're in. I know in Miami Beach with the hotel lobby, which doesn't really have many people anymore since COVID, but they found a lot of condominium communities and the management facilitating doing Airbnb, which is illegal in the city, and it's like a $20,000 fine. So they started going after the management companies and the condos. So again, that's really important, is these things are really cash cows. But again, if it doesn't, I was just in an office condo that had a loft. If something doesn't catch up with you, for example, if you have an inspection today and there's a problem found and you're given a violation, it might not catch up with you for years. So some of these things lie dormant for years, but they eventually end up catching up with the property owner.